Philippa Gamse is going to come out and talk to you. Let me tell you about Philippa. Philippa has been working on the internet and understanding how to use the internet to build your business since 1991. Before most of you even knew what the internet was, right? Or that it could ever be used for something practical like building a business. Studies show 95% of the websites on the internet are leaving money on the table. That means 5% of the people and the companies out there really know how to utilize it to build a business. Recently, just a couple of months ago, Philippa was the cover girl for Compass magazine, which is UPS's magazine, which goes out to over 1 million people. She's recognized as an expert globally. She comes from the most amazing country in the world, England. She hails from London. Now listen to this for someone who's committed, or should be committed. She arrived here this morning at 2:45 from California, which is a 3-hour time difference. She got herself up this morning. She made sure she was here for Kim's session this morning. She's been here all day. She's very excited to meet all of you all. But you need to be in a state and ready to learn. So everybody stand up. And let's give this young lady the respect that she deserves for traveling all the way here, for being the expert she is. Ladies and gentlemen, Philippa Gamse.
I'm assuming that you're here because you have a website and you want to hear about how to make it better, right? Yeah. Okay, now what Stephen said was that research shows 95% of websites are leaving money on the table. In fact, the research is mine. Since about 1995, I've been in business since then, I've critiqued probably over 5,000 websites. And it's my findings that just about 95% of those websites were leaving money on the table. One of the biggest problems is focusing too much on things like search engine optimization, but going for the wrong keywords. You can spend tons of money on Google to little or no effect. Also, the other thing that happens is that you get tons of traffic to your website, and that's great, but then your website doesn't cut it. So your website isn't compelling enough. It doesn't have the right calls to action. I've seen tons of websites where you get the traffic, but then people leave just like that immediately. You don't want that to happen, right? My mission in life is to help small and medium-sized businesses to maximize the return on investment that they get from their website. I call these HighFive strategies. 5 things that I want to talk about. 1, it's really important to present a really compelling image of your company and your value proposition. You've got to differentiate yourself online. People come to your website and they're like, why am I here? Why should I care? We'll talk about marketing. When we talk about marketing, we'll talk about search engines, because I know a lot of you want to hear about that. How do you get people to your site? How do you really get your message across? Making it really easy for your visitors to do business with you. The vast majority of websites really fall down in this area because you don't ask for the business. Motivating people to do what you want them to do, driving them to all of the different outcomes that you have for your site. Making sure that somehow you're getting a justifiable return on investment. What does that mean? How do you know when your website's a success? How do you set your goals? How do you know what's going to make you feel good about what you do with your website? 90+% of people looking for information on any product or service they're going to buy are looking on the web before they look anywhere else. And even if they hear of you, even if they meet you at some kind of networking meeting or somebody refers them to you, they've got your business card, they're going to look at your business card and they're going to say, do you have a website? And if so, I'm going to go there and check you out. And if they don't like what they see, you might have a problem. Here's the key question. How many of you have some kind of traffic report for your website? Okay, not too many. This is not good, people. How many of you would say that you can actually create and derive actionable intelligence, actual ideas of things to do from looking at those numbers? This is the key to some really, really important information about the return on investment that you're getting on your website. And one of my mantras is that if you are not looking at this information, or if you don't have somebody who understands your business looking at this information, and you're serious about your website, then you are shooting in the dark with everything you are doing with your website because you have no clue what's going on. You don't know how many people are doing what we've just said, how many people are coming to your website because you've got a great search engine optimization campaign going, which you can see, so you know you're number one for the keyword that you want. But how many of those people are taking one look at your site and walking away? You don't know that unless you're looking at something like this. Those people who are looking at traffic reports, how many of you are using Google? So the good news about Google Analytics for everybody out here who has a website isn't looking at these things. It's free. It's a great price. It's absolutely free. And to get it installed on your site, all you have to do is go to Google. So go to google.com and then put /analytics. If you don't have a Google account, you need to create yourself one, but that's free. And then they'll send you a little piece of code that you get your web designer to put into every single page of your website. So that's the one complicated thing you have to do. But if you've got somebody who is programming your website, they can do that. And then you've got access to this kind of information for free. It shows you how many people come to your website in whatever period of time you choose to look at, roughly how many pages they go to. The average visitor goes to 6 different pages of this site. So that's pretty good. That tells us that the visitors are engaging with whatever the content of this site is. So the bounce rate is what I'm just talking about, the number of people who come to your website, and whichever page is the first page that they see, they're like, that's it, I'm gone, I don't want to see anything else. So whatever they've seen on the very first impression that they've gotten of your website is enough to throw them out. For those of you who've never seen this kind of stuff, it's actually pretty interesting. So one thing you can tell is how many different countries people come from. If anybody here is doing international business, that's kind of interesting. But you can start looking at, across the world, where do people come from to get to your website? And then if you want to drill down within a particular country, so obviously within the US, you can see how many people from different states in the US came to your website. So if your business has some sort of regional or local focus, and you're much more interested in attracting people from one particular area, maybe one country, one state, you can even drill down to city levels, then you can start seeing how much where you're getting your traffic from and whether that's paying off. You can see who's new to your website and who's coming back, who's seen it before. So in this little example I'm showing you can see pretty clearly, this is a pie chart you can read, 90% of the people who come to this website are new. So 90% of the people who are coming to your website haven't a clue, potentially, who you are. They've never heard of you. They're looking at your site going, why am I here and why should I care? Keywords, how do you get people to your site? What should they be looking for? You want keywords that are not who you are, but what you do. This is a huge place where I see people not thinking through enough about what kind of traffic do you want, how do you want to get it? How do you attract people who, until this point in time, have never heard of you? You can't do it with your company name. You've got to do it on what do you do. One of the other things you can see is which pages do people go to a lot and what's happening on those individual pages. What you're doing when you're looking at this stuff is you're looking for the red flags. And you're looking for the what stands out for me that I want to see and I want to know why is this happening on my website. So there's one page on this site called Niche Marketing. And for some reason, if we look at the stats for that page, it has a 100% bounce rate. 100% bounce rate. You know what that means? Means that absolutely every single person who sees that page for the first time walks away from this website. Now, what's also interesting, though, is that it only has a 17% exit rate. Now, I know I'm getting a little technical here. The exit rate is the number of people who leave your website from that page. The exit rate may not be a bad thing. If you've got a page that says, thank you for your order, thank you for paying us lots of money, and people are leaving your site from that page, that's okay, right? On this page, we've got a 100% bounce rate, but the exit rate is only 17%, which means that a lot of people, the only people who are turned off by this page are the people who are only seeing this page. So clearly people who see this page as part of looking at the website as a whole, they're not leaving here. See what I'm saying here? There's a subtle difference. So what's happening to the people that land on this page, and this is their first impression of your website, and what's going wrong here?